All right, we're back on part whatever, 6, maybe? I don't know, of Dirty 44. So, what are we going to do this evening? We're in the garage, obviously. Say hi, everybody. All right. And our goal here, we're going to try to port match these two as close as we can. And as you can see, the 91 is much, 90, my bad, is much larger than the intake on this, and it does no good to put this big of a carb and do all that intake work on block work, port work, and leave this tiny. So this is a split intake, and we're able to get in there and mess with stuff, but our first goal is try to match up this to that. So, get y'all over here. Hopefully it ain't too zoomed in or anything. I think I need to swap my holder around a little bit here. I'm planning on that. Get y'all looking up a little higher. And your guys are sitting on top of a trash can. So, has an angled base. Yeah, that'll do. So, our goal is to do just that. Wallow this out a little bit larger. Get out our caliper here, our awesome little Harbor Freight unit. And we'll zero things out. So, our goal, we'll go with metric here. Yep, this side. This is a 25.4 millimeter bore. And our current bore is 20.6. So if we can get close to getting a little bit larger to match up, that'll be awesome. Another thing I was considering is putting this big old giant on there. And I'll have to wallow this out here, down here. I think you guys can see. Yeah. We'd have to shave some of this off to make it fit, or make a spacer here. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those, what do I want to do? But this might be overkill. Okay, I know it is. But, and it's a 27 millimeter bore. So, we can get this larger, then at least run the 090, which was the original plan, then we can get away with that. And also to run the other one, we're going to have to make a spacer for the bottom, and I got the material for that somewhere around here. Literally just had it not too long ago. But a big old, there it is, strip of Teflon. And that is more than thick enough to do what we need to do. We'd have to cut and shape everything to the size we're looking for here. So we can make it fit one way or another, as long as everything seals up on the back sides and stuff. So that would be a spacer to lift this up, because the bottom of the this larger carb, the red one, is just too big. But we'll start with working with this carb. We may end up just ultimately in the end with this one. So without further ado here, we'll get started on things, get everything out of the way, because we're going to be making a hellacious mess with it all. So going, what, 3-4 millimeters maybe, to get close as we can without hitting too much on stuff. Like the port here and everything, the impulse port's pretty far down there. So we can get this out, we can split this and open it up and just try to make a decent run. Also on the bottom here, we're going to try, and there's a giant square on where the port was for the end, for the reeds. And it doesn't, this is just a circle that leads right to it. So if we can take that out to the side a little bit, which I really doubt we can do too much other than chamfer it, you know, that's about all we're going to be able to do there. So kind of limited on stuff, but if we can at least get the carb matched up, I think we're going to be just fine. Well, hopefully you guys can see this because a lot of light, but just right here and right here, we've got to do some porting and wallowing out and everything to match up to the rest of it. But other than that, the rest is good. Kind of reached our limits on this one here because of the screw hole, and there's no need to really go too big. We're at 24 down here, so I think that's good enough. I say we'll just quickly get these right here, go through and smooth stuff out, and then I think we'll be pretty safe, yeah, because we're going to reach also our limits right here of our intake of our pulse port here. So get a couple edges smoothed out here. But other than that, you know, we'll get to that there, and probably just do that off camera here real quick. So, well, a lot better than it was. Well, I can't say it ain't professional by any means. I'm not going to brag and say I'm a porter of any sort, but much larger diameter the whole way through than it was. So, should be able to breathe a little better. We're around 23, 24 millimeter rather than the 20 it was, so it's going to be a vast improvement. Like I say, we're limited on a lot of stuff here, like the impulse tube. That's as far as we're going to go with it, and the screw hole over there. So, all right. I don't know, I got to get gaskets cut out, so I guess we'll just keep this a little short video here and everything, and get stuff done. We're just gonna use Honda Bond to seal these two together instead of making a gasket. It just makes sense. But that should definitely help it adapt to things better. That especially. And we'll get a base gasket made here, probably the spacer and everything. I say that right there. Add a spacer if we decide to use a red one, as I'd like to, but I just think it's just going to be simply too much. I mean, it's a 72cc engine, so as cool of a thought as it would have been, the 090 is going to be our choice here. And this one, this carb has been proven to run. This was on the 101B, but this is way too small of a carburetor for it, so. Right, well, I gotta get gaskets made, the lower gasket and everything before we can mount the tank, and I gotta get some hardware and everything. I'm gonna go to Allen bolts, so I think this is about all we're gonna be able to do for this little short video here. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Until then, like, comment, subscribe. You know where it's always gonna be. A little more action every weekend, hopefully.